Another Honda episode, another day of bringing this render to reality. Part of that is the silver RPF ones with the Falcon 615s, but the real glow up is next when we do the wrap and the body components for the Type R look. It's gonna be sweet. And right out of the gate, we're gonna ceramic coat them. In this episode, wheels, tires, suspension, ceramic coating. Also be doing a Cerakote headlight restoration. Then also, we have some cool partners in this series. This is the first roll of vinyl I've had support on the channel. They sent it out. Avery Dennison, I got to meet David, the marketing manager at SEMA, and I told him why we're doing this giveaway, to transform and give away a fun car to help someone in need and inspire action in every garage. And he was like, that's awesome. Dude, I would love to help out. Here it is. Avery Dennison, real people doing real business that are enthusiasts in the space that want to support us enthusiasts, customize our cars. So I'm super thankful for them. If you're thinking about getting a roll of vinyl, I'll put the best link in the description where you can order something like this from. We're obviously not wrapping the car today, but as you can see in the render that we're bringing to reality, the color change is part of it. So support Avery Dennison because they support us and helping one of you get a new car. So our wheel and tire division, offset.com. It's our wheel and tire focused site / standalone business. You'll see the new division of Karma Speed on offset.com under the logo. That's where we got this set up from, and you can too. I'll have it linked in the description if you have a Honda. Falcon Zenith RT 615K Plus 215 45 17 RPF1 specs in the description. They should be pretty sweet, and I'm excited to see them on the car. But since they're brand new, they're balanced and mounted already, I can ceramic coat them, then we can throw them straight on the car. This car should handle completely different after this and look a little bit cooler in the process, but this is the first bulk of the work, so we'll get into it. I wanna make sure these fit probably before I unpackage more of them. 19 millimeter. Yeah, these are gonna fit all day, and it's gonna allow us to get way lower, way lower. Cool. So if you want a more in-depth story, I'm gonna leave a card on the screen to the super video where I put new wheels on it and we ceramic coated. That's where I tell the longer story about the very specific ceramic coating I'm using on these wheels. I'm gonna simplify this as much as possible though, but just know I have an in-person relationship with this company. They showed me why they do things, how they do things, totally jive with each other. They treat me like family now, and they're definitely a key part of the process and a key relationship to help us continue to do what we do and make content. So the good peeps, learned a lot from them, inspired me, and I'm excited to use their product more and more now to protect all the wheels, the paint, wraps, everything that we work on. And in this video, I'm gonna specialize in showing you how to do ceramic coating as fast as freaking possible. So let's get into it. If you notice, there's trash everywhere. Yeah, there's trash everywhere. But if you also notice, I have all the wheels with the barrels up. That's on purpose. So whatever you see me do to this wheel, I'm doing to the ones on the ground at the same exact time. What are we using? Linked in the description. Cerakote professional ceramic coating. You order this, it comes with two. I already have one out. Normally they just come with one. We got two. One layer, 5 minutes cure time. Throw some gloves on. I got these black. I'll leave some in the description. If you don't have some in your shop, you definitely should. I'm out of breath. It's because I'm moving fast. This is a part you don't want to skip. I always skip it, but when it comes to ceramic coating, I don't skip it because I learned the hard way. When this stuff sticks on your skin, even the littlest bit, it will drive you bonkers for a while. So let's get some new rags up in here. Tear off the tags. Shake, get the lint off. I have a really watered down glass cleaner. I'm just gonna spray this rag damp, make one pass through, even though these are brand new. Get them real clean. No weights required because these were mounted and balanced. Take that sticker off. Flip this around, get the face of it. You know, what's gonna hold you back here is whoever mounted and balanced these or anything you did. Oils from your fingers, anything like that, get that off. It's gonna be real light, but prep is key for a good ceramic coating. All right, I'm gonna do this to all the ones on the ground. Take your little Twinkie. I've got a fresh side still, it's unused. I ordered more of these. I'll leave them linked in the description. These are good just to have extras of. Okay, I'm gonna get this side wet with the ceramic coating. Then do one single layer. Make sure you have all the coverage of the whole barrel. And when it starts to get kind of grippy or you're getting a little bit of friction, that's when you need to wet the ceramic coating again. So it's getting a little less slippery. Got my Twinkie up right here. I'm gonna hit this edge real good. Silver is a harder color to see where the coverage was. And what's scary about it is you're not gonna be able to see right now, but when this thing's coated in brake dust, you're gonna know exactly where you missed your ceramic coating because it's gonna be full of brake dust. So I'm gonna make sure, come through here twice because these are silver, keep this wet and hit every area, every part of this barrel. This is simple. I'm just applying it, looking at the wet line to check where I hit. Looks good. And you can kind of pick some reference points so you know where you went and where you didn't. Now I'm gonna do this to the other 3 on the floor. Durability test of the Cerakote ceramic bottle. Check. Dropped on ground, does not break. So slick. This is something fun to do for any level of enthusiast. If you've been working on cars forever, whether you've had your wheels forever, you could take them off, clean them real good, then do this. Beginner friendly, and it has nothing but good effects. It's cost sensitive. It's not super expensive to buy this and do this. It takes a good little chunk of time. Do something on your day off. Productive and kind of fun. I learned that these Twinkies have like a plastic layer inside, so it doesn't just soak up all the expensive product. It'll make it last longer. Unlike a regular sponge where it just soaks up everything and then you have a big ball of moist ceramic coating. This doesn't do that. Kind of retains its foaminess and its size, so it's effective for longer. And you're not wasting a bunch of product, because if you have this thing full of ceramic coating, I mean, you just wasted, 60 to 100 bucks. But that doesn't happen with this, which is nice. There's a Fuel Fest happening today in Phoenix, and a lot of people ask like, hey, why don't you go to meets, or, oh, I'm out? Dang, I'd really be using a lot of this. But anyways, a lot of people ask like, oh, do you go to meets, or why don't you go to Fuel Fest, or whatever, it's in Phoenix, or whatever. Honestly, like, these events always happen when I'm in the mood to just work on cars on a weekend a little bit more casually for fun, like right now. And I just film everything, of course, so it's not that I don't like going. Set timer for 5 minutes. We're gonna let this all dry for 5 minutes. I enjoy going to those things, but I enjoy making progress on my own stuff, especially when I can capitalize on being in the mood for it on like a weekend when the weather's nice outside and whatnot. I kind of am a little bit of a loner, a little bit of an introvert, but like, it's like, go and hang out with a bunch of people, see some drifting and wish I was driving, or do I stay home and work hard and knock some things off the to-do list so that when I do go to those events, one day I can be drifting instead of just walking around, hanging out, watching everyone else drive. It's just like, I'm just still in my grind phase, because I don't like to sit around. I like, if I'm not checking something off the list, I just get depressed. So to me, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I just have things that I would do it, and then I'll make it to those events later when I can be doing something while I'm there, type of thing. It's just how I'm wired. By no means is it you shouldn't be going to those events if you're not driving. If you enjoy those things and it makes you fulfilled as a car enthusiast and you get to see some people and it checks all the boxes for you, you should absolutely go. It shouldn't be frowned upon to go. Work will always be there. I'm just a little bit neurotic when it comes to getting things done, hitting goals, I've been diving super deep into psychology and mentorship and all these things, and I've been learning that like I'm that percentage of the population that just is like cannot stop doing things at any given moment, and that it's not normal. Most people aren't at that level of like on all the time, and that's like what I've learned is like completely good. And like I have this voice in my head that's always like, you should be doing more, you should be doing more, you should be doing more, and that's actually not everyone. Most people don't have that voice in their head, but a lot of you watching might have that voice in your head, which then there's a whole other set of things that we could dive into of like, what does that mean? What does that tell you about yourself? How can you protect yourself from feeling whack or depressed or whatever? So if you like that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. I'm a psychology nerd. I just met with my mentor today, who's also like a relationship counselor and other things, and he helps me learn a lot about the brain and psychology and things like that. This has definitely been 5 minutes since this is dry. This wheel, those have about 2 minutes left. So all I'm gonna do with a clean rag is wipe every single spot. And what this does is you want a thin layer on every part of the wheel, not any thick areas, because it's so microscopic, but you'll have like high spots and low spots. And we're making sure it's all the same level when you wipe it all down at the 5 minute mark. So that way when light reflects off of it, it's all even. Like if you have a high spot, it'll look rainbowy. So if you didn't wipe these off and just left it on, your wheels would like reflect all weird. Brake dust and other things would, if there's any dust, whatever, it's not gonna adhere to it now because of the ceramic coating, but it's gonna sit on top of it in a weird way. So this just makes it like an even coat so that everything looks like it should, like factory, or how it was built. built or sprayed or whatever, it's real easy. You're just knocking down those high spots because the bottom layer adheres to the whatever you're putting it on, and then the extra on top is just sitting there and it can be wiped off. It's almost like this invisible protection layer. And you'll notice, you'll spray water on your wheels full of brake dust and it just falls off without even needing any chemical or anything. It's crazy. So now that's wiped off. I'm gonna flick this over and now we can apply it to the face, which my timer's up for those. I'm gonna wipe all these off down here. Okay, the face of the wheel, most important part. Make sure you have some lighting that will show you where you've covered, where you haven't. You can kind of look at different angles, turn out the wheel. I'm gonna get this real wet, get all these corners, and all you gotta do, just make sure you have a layer of coating everywhere. I like to start at the edge first. This is the most important part that drives me insane when I'm cleaning. It's like, I don't want the outside ring to have brake dust accumulating, so I like to hit that first. And I'm gonna go wherever the heart desires next. I'm gonna focus on the inner hub piece, just making sure I have a thin layer, keeping this wet. And then I'm gonna hit the spokes on the outside. That's the easiest part right here. And now each triangle in these spokes, I'm gonna get to the worst part. And just try not to hit like your glove where you've already touched, because you'll wipe the ceramic coating off and then you'll have missed a spot. So just be careful. And if you do hit a spot with your glove and you kind of take the ceramic coating off, just go back over it. It's no big deal. All right, this one spot where the Enki logo is. How do you say this? Enki? 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 It's one little crevice where the valve stem is at. I want to make sure it's thick in there. Okay, this wheel's done. Feel good about it. Set timer for 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna go do the ones on the ground. 5 minutes has gone by. You'll see the wheel looks really glossy in some spots, and that's what you're gonna be wiping away to make sure it's not there. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the top of the spokes. Remember, the ceramic coating is already adhered to the wheel. Now we're just wiping off the loose excess of coating there. So just smooth, firm to the touch. A little wipe down, pat down, whatever you want to call it. A little love tap to get a little touchy-feely, get all up in there. I mean, this wheel is just gonna be a joy to keep clean because it's gonna be so easy, so easy. These Enki stickers are gonna look good for a long time. Like to the touch, these things are slick and they have a nice gloss now, a little bit more than they did before. Love that. Set timer for 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna do the rest of the wheels now. This one's done. And this is a freshly ceramic coated wheel with Cerakote's professional ceramic coating. All right, let's get the wheels off. Suspension on. And what I didn't tell you we're doing in this video is also some new brake rotors and pads. Let's open the suspension box and make sure everything is good. We had to go with the BC coilovers. Simple, to the point. You got this weird arm right here for the steering on the Hondas, which I'm new to. Love, love, love how this mounts to the car versus the ones that slide into the knuckle. This should be pretty easy once we break these bolts loose and we can throw these in. Let's throw them in at the height of the box, throw the car on the ground and see if we need to lower them from there. And we're gonna see how much better this car handles with these. Let's take a little look at the rear. The rears are pretty unique looking as well. Got our spanner wrenches and tools. If you want to purchase these coilovers for your car, no matter the make and model, you can head over to karmaspeed.com. That's the best way to support the channel and the content, and you can purchase yourself some BC coilovers. Well, let's get to wrenching. So the way this is set up, steering is here, power steering unit, rack. Here's the knuckle down here that connects to the hub. We need to get all of these lines off of here because we're gonna attach it to the new coilover. Then we can get our steering arm off there. Since these are the two bolts that hold the suspension on the lower, we'll be able to slide this out. We don't need to move this down a lot or anything. So should be straightforward, right? All right, I'm gonna get these lines off first. This is a 10 for our brake line. That's bigger than that. 12. Brake line's off. The little wire is a speed sensor. And that works with the ABS system as well, usually. So that's important. Okay, those are free. Next, I want to get off the steering. There's a cotter pin there. There they are. My Milwaukee trusty needle nose. Just want to get this flat. Ooh, we're about there. She should come right out. Oh, you're not gonna do it, are you? Oh, did you see that? Pulled the top half off. The cooter pin is trashed. It's all right. A 17. Oh, just like that, boy. Okay, let's take this to the end. Make sure there's a good flat spot here before I whack them more. Oh, there it goes. And the threads still work? What a concept. Now I gotta get off a 19. Yes, it is. Okay, so then 22, 19. Oh, don't you love to see it? What about the lower one, huh? Same story? Probably not, because my tool doesn't fit. What if I go from this side? That works, so I need to swap. So I'm gonna go left side gun and right side wrench. Cool beans, came right off. Bingo. Oh, this should just come right out. Oh, this is so easy. Okay, now we just gotta disconnect the top. Buy a lift where you don't have to do the clank thing. It's usually a safety over here. Just spend your money wisely. Don't do what I did. All right, what do we got? This is where I get my medium. Ratchet out with some leverage. Just like that. Yup. I might have to take this one all the way out. Well, I'm gonna hold the bottom, and I should be able to just, nice. I have my BC now. Something I wanna make sure of is that these Allen heads for my camber adjustment are tight. They can usually be snugged up from factory a smidge. You can't normally access these unless you take them off. And these are a 5mm Allen head. Allen key. If you don't have these, get them, you need them. Hanging out with my bolster over here. There's zip ties and these like washer things for fitting the bolts in here flush, and these things are for sure gonna go everywhere. So I'm just gonna get 2. All right, I just want this to hang out, so I'm gonna slide it through the top. I just noticed something important. First car in a while, if you look on this top hat, L. There's a right on the other one. So when you're sitting in the car driving it, that's how you decide right and left with car parts. This is the left driver's side. So same thing, Allen camber adjustment. Just gonna snug these up. Made sure they're the same. So how you decide to position it is camber is supposed to bring the wheel in and out like this. Camber in, camber out. So I gotta position it. So I'm like, okay, steering can connect in the right orientation and camber can connect in the right orientation. Then I can slide it up in. Got those, got this. So then I can pull this around to where I need it. This has a long way to go up. This sway bar is gonna make it difficult. So I'll go ahead and slide my steering arm in there. I need support. This is when you could use a floor jack if you're doing this on the ground. This is just a pole jack. You don't need a lift for coilover installs usually ever. Just makes it way easier for you to see while I'm filming what exactly is going on so you have as much context as possible. This is pushing it up. Okay, it's right there. This specific Honda, you don't need these, I just learned, because the bolt fits perfect, and I'm assuming some of the base models have less beefy knuckles. Okay, all right, now we can get rid of this. Let's get this to a more manageable height. Okay, thread on our 2 main nuts. You don't want this coming off, so make sure it's tight. And don't let your wrench on my right hand hit your fender. Yeah, that's tight. Threading in the brake line. Okay, all right, brake line was a 12. Clearance is good here, this is good. Tight, tight. Okay, I can put this on tight. 17. Gonna check my assortment from Harbor Freight. That's a good fit right there, boys. Nah, could we go bigger? Dang. Yeah, let's do that, boys. Pull one down and take it around town. And the other one, taking it through town. I don't like that at all. Let's try and get a bigger one in. That was how not to install. Guess it has to be this one. That'll do it. That's better. Just bend it with your hand. Smart. I know. So tight, 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 tight. 14, BC is always 14. The power on this power ratchet is always impressive. How tight? Snug. And then a little more. And then we're gonna turn it 30 clicks. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18, 14, 15. 15 in the middle. On the softer side of things, this is the part of the show where I do the passenger side 3 times as fast, baby. Passenger side, only thing that's different is this 10 mil. I bent this line up just a little bit out of the way. And then to tighten this one all the way in the back, I used a regular wrench. Otherwise, it's all done and it's all the same. We're on to the back. First thing you wanna do, just looking a little rough, don't worry. These plastic pieces. There's a little pry spot right here. Pry that open, now we have access. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side next. 14 mil. Ooh, that's deep in there. How in the world? I have one of these wobblies. That should work. Put an extension. Wonder if I can get in there with a wrench. Maybe a flat wrench. Just barely. Maybe I broke it loose enough. Broke it loose with the wrench, then the wobbly worked. Now I can get the rest of this off by hand. Cool. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Worked again. The thing with the wobblies, whatever you call them, what do you guys call these? The thing with these is you lose a lot of torque. Usually these break when you do what I just did, but these Icon ones are actually pretty strong, so I never really worry about it. Like that pulls it off no problem when you straight, you know, use a socket to the bolt. Now we go up. So for this car, we want to do the upper control arm, remove it here, and then we can remove the lower part of the stock strut. 17 millimeter. Break this loose. There we go. So I'm gonna go all the way soft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14, 15. Same as the front. We can adjust it later. So we can spin the top. I can spin this to line up. So I have this just sitting here. We need to get the pole jack underneath or a floor jack if you're on the ground and apply some pressure. Until I can line those bottom holes up. Oh, it's right there. Slide this bolt in from the back side. Now, way up top where neither of us can really see, I'm gonna put that control arm back in through the hub, and then hit it with the gun. Now I need to get it back down. Now I need to put these 14 mil nuts on that came with the coilovers. I can snug it up with my open end wrench. Yep, got it. With the ratcheting side, that's nice. The last and most important step with my wrench, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Oh yeah, that's tight. Control arm is tight. Rear coilover, bottom of it snugged up. This is good. And this is where I do the passenger side twice as fast. It's time to take a little break. Get it? Front and rear. Drilled and slotted rotors and pads for the EP3. Got these from karmaspeed.com. These are power stop brakes. Got some pads here. Ooh. Rear passenger side. All this Honda stuff is marked passenger and driver. It's not the same. It's funny. I guess because they're directional, huh? Rear driver side. Drilled and slotted. Not necessarily a Honda thing. Correcting myself. This stuff gets to you quick. This comes from our best distributor. Took them like 2 days to get to my house in Phoenix. Power Stop Evo Evolution Sport carbon fiber ceramic performance pads. These are nice. front passenger side. I'm a little nervous that these are gonna be hard to get the stock ones off because they're probably rusted at the hub. So we're gonna spray all these with brake cleaner first, get all the grime and grease off of here so they don't rust in the packaging. We got some work to do before we can do this part. I also wanna strip this down, do a factory silver color while we're at it. All right, first things first, brake caliper off. To get this caliper off, there's two 17mm bolts on the back side, and this top one is on tight. So I'm getting this extension around from the bottom with this like pry bar style handle. Oh boy. One bolt at a time. Don't lose your mind. One down, one to go. Crazy how short these bolts are. You see that? These things are tiny. Honda life. Well, this will be fun. Okay, I just need to get these screws out. About 20 minutes ago, I sprayed these with PV Blaster. So these usually come out if you do that. This one's coming out real tough. Spray some more in it. You'd be shocked at what this will do. It will just seep into those crevices. And oh yeah, it's helping me get this out. Oh yeah, right up into those crevices. Oh yeah, it went all the way up in there. I did so good. Oh, perfect, it's already loose. Oh man, today's a good day. Let's go. They're the same, I checked. Can of brake cleaner. That's all you need, folks. Lines up perfect. Little anti-seize don't hurt anybody. Just get a little on the threads. Help the next guy. Love you, brother. On the wrong holes. This thing has 2 holes. What a kook. I was like, why aren't these dipping down? This would be this one. There we go. That's more like it. Now, I need to figure out what we're gonna do with this. Okay, I wanna take these apart. It's gonna be much easier to paint when it's separated. I take these pads out. Metal brackets are gonna go bye-bye. Got my hanger. This is just barely taut. Perfect, so it's gonna hold still. Now I'm gonna clean this and I'll paint it right here. That's the color I was looking for. Oh, this is gonna look bomb. Okay, I gotta do the other piece now. Got this one up on a little stand. Just cleaned it off. These are never gonna look perfect when you clean them because they're so old. But don't let that scare you. This paint will hold up well. So that line, you won't see that. So I'm not really stressing about it. Now I'm gonna go for a nice second coat. Everything is painted. Now I'm gonna put some clean gloves on, put it all back together, then we can admire it. I'll do the other 3, and then we can get the wheels on and get the ride height dialed in, and then we'll head up to the headlight restoration. My other gloves would totally contaminate the new paint. Perfect. So these are a little bit like just bare metal. There's no satin or gloss. And this car is gonna be so nice gloss white. The wheels are gonna be super glossy. These will just be a nice change up of kind of that raw aluminum look, which I'm going for. I did that on purpose. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take these brackets. You've never done this. They usually sit in here, pretty obvious. New carbon ceramics. The new clips, these right here, these metal pieces, the new ones were so tight I couldn't even get the new pads on. So I slid those into place, then I'm gonna slide it around the rotor and get these ready to go. So I'm gonna mount this bracket with the 2 bolts. Bracket's on tight, most important thing. One of the most. Pads pressed in there tight. See, that's not even close to going around, so we need to compress this. I have a brake compressor tool. You can lease these, like borrow them from auto parts stores. Slide it in here. This piece goes in there. And you want to get pressure to push the piston in. Sometimes you have to put a wrench right here. It's pushing in for me without needing a wrench. I think I'm bottomed out. Okay, I'm gonna loosen it. Hope that this will slide around. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. Now we can put the other 2 bolts on the back side. That's a whole brand new looking setup. Coilovers, rotors, pads, painted caliper. Let's go. Ready for the wheels. The RPF ones, since they don't have hubcaps, this was looking really gross. So it's really hard not to get it to pull up at the bottom, but get it to spin around like this. But this will look a lot better. Another thing I've been needing to do while that's drying is get these fender liners out because we have a replacement. For me to put the new ones in, I gotta order some Honda specific fender liner clips so that way everything's like mint. So I'll come back to that later. I just want to get that out of there. Now back to this, now that it's dry, let's see if this looks a lot better. Oh boy, looks so fresh. Awesome. I'm thinking based off of the droop, this ride height out of the box could be perfect. Maybe a smidge high, but we'll see. But dang, those wheels make it look like a whole different car. Looks like a sports car now. Just finished both of the rears. Only thing really different is you gotta loosen this line right here, 12 mil. Other than that, it's identical. Painted these silver, came out okay. Easy peasy. Here's the other side. Woo-hoo! RPF ones, baby. As you can see, we finished up. Now for the MOT, moment of truth. I'm gonna rename this secondary name, moment of torque, because I need to torque all the wheels. I'm gonna make sure I didn't leave anything hanging. All the brake lines are good. Nothing weird. All right, let's see how it sits. This car is so much less lame already. Oh dang, I think it's gonna settle a little bit. It's looking pretty good right out of the box. If we go lower in the rear, we're gonna get a lot more camber, which I don't like. So I'm liking how it looks right now. I'm excited to drive it. The quality of the ride's gonna be so much better on these tires. Man, look at this thing. This looks like an egg right now because there's no wing. You can see how our fitment is looking pretty nice. It's nice that the handbrake is not just a cable. I would be using a torque wrench, but mine's broken right now. So I'm gonna get a new one. The one I had was a cheap Amazon one. It didn't last very long. Woohoo! I'm smiling because the brakes work so good. The car rides so nice. Now it's like quieter inside, but man, it looks terrible from this angle. Hey, trust the process. But I brought you out here because look at the ride height. Literally perfect out of the box, front and rear. Might have to touch it up just a smidge at the very end of the build, but for now, it's looking pretty dialed. I just love to see the progress and like, look at the brakes. Everything just flows so well, so simple, so classy. Dude, these things hook. Like this car comes to a stop so fast. I'm so excited to start tearing it apart. Let's restore the headlights next in this episode. And then I'm gonna take all this apart and we're gonna go to Rap City. Hopefully Parker's gonna help me, I hope. Maybe I'll call in the reinforcements at Street League. My boy Logan, who always helps me at the house. We'll see, but this car's gonna come together quick. And I can't wait. One thing I need to do amidst all of this, I gotta get rid of all this, we gotta get to work, is I wanna open these Type R eBay parts, because we're probably gonna have to leave them in the sun. Oh dang, Oh, I thought they'd be a lot more flimsy. That's cool. Well, I'm just gonna set them out for tomorrow. Maybe it's the rear one. Looks pretty solid. I love getting rid of big boxes. Last little section of this episode, I got a nice care package from Cerakote. Got some trim coat refill, our headlight restoration kit, a couple different ones, rapid ceramic paint sealant, which is like a much better quick detailer that has hydrophobic properties. We'll touch on this more later. This is good stuff. Nice to have around. I needed another setup of ceramic coating. Might do Parker's wheels with him. And then gonna give Matt, who you'll see in the next episode, a bunch of Glacier Black Air Cure C-Series Cerakote. This is a lot. This will last him a long time. This is a little gift to say thanks because he always helps me with Cerakoting. And so in the next episode, we're gonna be doing some customizations, but this trim piece is just toast. Nice little sandblast, I'm thinking, and then Cerakote, and it'll look brand new. I'm excited. But I can't stand looking another day at these headlights this yellow and this, they're real dirty oxidation. We're gonna get it dialed in with the ceramic headlight restoration kit, no tools required. Got our gloves, sanding discs, and all the goodies. When I do these, I like to leave everything on kind of the bottom right here of my little chair. Then 2 rags, some painter's tape for overkill. You don't have to do the tape, but we will. Let's get a nice before look. Being a little bit overkill, I like to take some painter's tape and protect the bumper. Slide that in there so I can get crazy with the sanding pad. Now the bumper's protected. Step 1, I got some basic waterless wash cleaner. Use glass cleaner, could be anything. Just clean the surface, give it a nice wipe down. Grab a glove. Gonna grab one of our sets of oxidation remover wipes. And we're gonna rub this on until the rag turns yellow. You can see all the oxidation coming off. If you get this on your paint and you don't have tape like I do, it's totally fine, just wipe it off. It's not gonna damage your paint. Just wipe it off right away with a rag. If you don't think there's anything on there, check that out. It's worth getting in on the edges. Okay, this one's toast. I'm gonna move on to the next one. This is why you use all the wipes, just keeps coming. Can't really see it. Toast. On to wipe number 3. Alright, here's our last one for this headlight. Now I'm gonna take my cleaner, just wipe all that off. Alright, so it should be a little hazy on purpose. Red sanding disc, wet the lens, and then set timer for 3 minutes. You wanna do that? And then non-circular motions, we're gonna sand this thing down in its entirety. And make sure you keep it wet. This is a wet sanding technique. This is also a huge moment to have tape around the headlight so that you don't sand your paint. Because if you sand your paint on this step, that ain't gonna be good. You're gonna be real sad. So if you have a headlight that's a shape that might have some weird spots, you could take the sanding disc off and then do it by hand. But this headlight's pretty good. I can get to most areas. And this headlight wasn't in terrible shape, but it's definitely gonna look a lot better. Should look brand new. Alright, timer's up. Pull off the red pad. Throw on the gray one. Set timer for 2 minutes. I'm gonna do it a little shorter this time because this headlight is not in terrible shape. You might need all 3 minutes. I don't. I've been working on the Supra, and you know, you step down to a budget-friendly vehicle compared to a Supra like this, and you kind of think like, oh, like, I bet the Honda is so much less fun. And it's like, honestly, all these like little things that I get to do, all the things we did in this video, I really enjoyed. I listened to some podcasts when I wasn't recording, finished a really good book, self-development book, because I'm into things like that. It was a gnarly one, and just had a lot of time to think, and this car looks a lot better as it is. And after the next video, when I start tearing this apart after this and wrapping it, it's like, man, this is no different than, you know, a $60,000 Supra process. Like, yeah, it's satisfying, but you get the same kind of high, I guess you would say, doing this. Just something I've been thinking about. Cars are cars, different speeds, but the process of bringing them to life is fun. Timer's up. Let's clean it off. There should be some scratching and some haziness, but that's normal because this is gonna give us a fresh lens to let the ceramic coating and clear coat seep into, fill all those scratches, seal the lens over, protect it from the UV, and have a nice finish and look to it. So I'm gonna go do the other headlight and then we'll do the final touch. Final step, ceramic clear coating. They're on my second pair of gloves it comes with. Now we're gonna do horizontal top to bottom, one for each headlight, one single coat, 50% overlap. This top edge, make sure you get up here, get around the sides. Boom, we'll just let that dry. That looks amazing. Little bonus, you can do the best part with me on this side also. I've been doing this off camera. Make sure you stay horizontal. And that'll do it. I'm gonna let this dry for a few and then pull the tape off. You gotta be careful not to flick water or cleaning solution onto the fresh headlight. Awesome. It's getting closer and closer. The next episode we'll be tearing it off. We gotta get these wash nozzles out of here. Gotta get this off here. Gotta get this clear coat drip from a bad paint job. We gotta get these moldings off right here. The wing is already off, get the badges off, VTEC sticker off, hopefully get the side skirts off. Gotta figure out how to get these off front and rear, the grille, and we'll get to wrapping. If you're enjoying how the Civic's coming along, can't wait for the next episode. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on. If you haven't seen where I dropped my house in the carport on this car, check out the video right here. Worst mistake I've ever done. Interesting story. This car's been through a lot already. Go get caught up if you haven't seen that yet.